So it's been quite a while since I've done a video. There's a real good reason for that. I know a lot of people are probably wondering what's happened since this past summer, what's going on with the Fox body. There's a lot that has changed. And I wanted to do an update video to try and just put everything back into light as far as, what's happening with the channel, why I haven't done any videos, what the future of the channel is and stuff like that. I kind of have to break this down into categories. I'm not really sure how long this video is going to be. And it depends on how much I get into, how deep into topics I get on it. But I'm going to try and cover everything as best as I can to make it coherent so that everyone can understand where I'm coming from and why things have changed and why the videos really dropped off as of the summer, and what the future outlook for the channel is going forward. So the last video I actually recorded was sometime around probably August, somewhere around there is the last video I actually recorded, even though they came out for a while after that. As far as why the video stopped, in early July, I suffered a really bad back injury. This kept me out of work for 2.5 months. What essentially happened was when I was changing the seats out in the Fox body, and you can see in the video I was bending over, picking up the seats, taking them out. I screwed my back really bad. I didn't realize that until about 2 weeks later when things really, really went downhill, and I ended up in the ER. That led to me being out of work for over 2 months because of what happened. What actually happened was between my L2 and L3 disc in my back, all the fluid, got squished out like a jelly donut basically. Not all the fluid, but a good amount of it. I'll throw up a picture here with kind of a description on, what exactly you're looking at, the MRI that I had done. So because of that happening, I couldn't even walk for about 2 weeks without the assistance of a walker. It was the absolute worst pain I had ever been through. It really changed my outlook on a lot of stuff going through all this. I was away visiting my dad when this happened, and I couldn't even come home to my own house for a few days after that. I stayed with another family member who was closer at home before I could even come home and function, on my own at my own house. And even then, I still had the walker for about 2 weeks before I could walk without it. It was just really, really bad. And that really got me thinking of, if I got as far as doing the seats in the Fox body without royally screwing my back up, with all these massive plans I had for the car, being the engine swap, the engine that I had on order. I didn't even go over all the specs on that engine that I had, ordered for that build. Transmission swap, dropping the rear end, doing all that stuff. I just really didn't want to go through that kind of injury again. And since, now, the week before Christmas, I'm perfectly fine. I've been fine since probably like September. I've been going to the gym a lot, really to strengthen my back up and my core, and just generally get in better shape, because I sat around for 2 months literally doing nothing but video games and streaming services. So that was basically my summer. I don't want to go through that pain again, ever again. It was, those of you that have had back injuries know what I'm talking about. Those of you that have not, I wouldn't wish this on the most hated person that I know. It's just an absolutely terrible experience. And it got me thinking about a lot of stuff, as I said. I've had 3 Mustangs this year. Had my Terminator Cobra at the beginning of the year. I sold that. Had the Shelby GT350, sold that. Jumped into the Fox body. After that, I've had a really hard time finding what I really want, what really makes me happy. I wouldn't be jumping from vehicle to vehicle if I had like a clear path. It seemed like I just was getting something to have something. And long story short, I ended up selling the Fox body. It was because of those two factors. My back, I couldn't go through that kind of injury again. It absolutely terrified me. Still to this day, it still terrifies me. I had a specialist appointment in October, and the main question I had for him was, what's the likelihood of this happening again? And he said, the fact you go into the gym and, strengthening your core and your back, that's the best thing that you can do. But he said, I can't guarantee you that it'll never happen again. It's like if you break a bone, it's more susceptible to happen again at some point in the future. And that's kind of, where I am with my back right now. And because of that, it made me realize how much of a project can I really get into, how much pressure and strain can I put on my back before blowing it out again like I did. And that's what led to me getting rid of the Fox body. I had it up for sale for a while. Someone bid on it like in November, and it went away. And from that point forward, it's like I didn't know what to do with the channel. I hadn't uploaded a video for quite a while. Fixing the headlights was the last thing I uploaded. That was the last thing I did with the car. I took it for a few more drives before it was, technically done for the winter. But it was more of, just trying to get into the car and drive it again. And I just didn't feel as though felt right. I didn't have the desire to go through that whole project anymore. And I didn't really know the direction that I was going to take the channel. There's no car to do content with. And I was just going to let the channel, basically die. There are a few things that I'm doing. I'm taking a huge trip out of the country in February. I'll throw up a few pictures of where I'm going. Where I'm actually going, I'll let you guys know when I do the whole video on it. So the channel isn't technically dead. As far as car content goes, that's really in limbo right now. Don't really know what's going to happen right now. When I go on that trip, I'll record the whole thing. I'll do a big video on it. It'll be pretty cool, but as far as the weekly uploads I was doing for like 3 years, that's just not going to happen right now. There's other things that I've been kind of getting back into. I bought, a couple of guns. I'll throw up, a picture or two up here of, what I've got lately. And, I could do some reviews on that and stuff. But, I really like doing the car content, but I'm just really stuck on what I want. When I decided on selling the Fox body, I was looking for something else. I was looking out of the box of Mustangs. I was going to broaden my horizons and look at other stuff. I got looking at and strongly considered getting a 2018 BMW M2 or an M2 competition. Still like those cars a lot. Very amazing cars. The more I found out about them, the more I read up on them. It was just, they seemed like really good cars and I wouldn't mind having one. But the more I started watching videos on them and getting the backstory on them, those cars are selling for $10,000 to $15,000 more right now than they were 3 years ago. I'm just not taking that kind of a hit as far as, what something's worth versus what I'm going to pay for it. So as I said in the video, am I going to get another Terminator now that I don't have anything? When I stopped uploading videos and really deciding not to do car content, I was really just basically done with cars. I really wanted to make that break and go and do something else and, maybe take the time to figure out what I really wanted, because I blew through a Terminator Cobra, Shelby GT350, and a Fox body all within 7 months. And it was just a lot to handle. It made me realize that I just cannot go out and on a whim buy something, because I'll be right back to where I wasn't happy. And, if you look at things in context of considering to buy another Terminator, but I had one before, so why did I ever sell it? I kind of really resented that car, the more I had it. I built the car too much. I said in another video, in the Fox body video, that if I ever bought another Terminator, I would not do most of the mods that I did on the one I had before. I wouldn't do a big blower. I wouldn't shoot for 700 horsepower. I would keep an exhaust intake pulley, maybe ported Eden, and call it good. It's an extremely good setup, and that's what I would do if I were ever to get another one. But like I said, I really wasn't sure on what I want to do. I just wanted to take a break from everything. I'm still a mod on the 0304 Cobra for sale page, and I'm still in a lot of the other Cobra groups, even though my participation in them has dropped a lot on Facebook. And I was kind of moving away from that whole world. But the thing is that cars have been like part of my persona for so long. I was 16, 17 years old when I bought my first Mustang, and I've had one always for so long. And when everyone, a few of my friends and a few of the people off the channel that know everything that's happened up to this point before putting it out on video have asked me, what's the next car, what's the next Mustang? And I said, there isn't one. And they're like, I can't picture you without a Mustang. And this is mostly geared towards the people that have known me for decades, that I've always had one. And the thought going forward of not having one just didn't seem like a reality for a lot of people. It's like, oh, he'll get something else. But I was just really against it for a long time. But as far as getting another Terminator, I can't say that I'm 100% getting one. I will say that I'm open to the idea to it, but it has to be the right price and it has to be the right color in the right condition. I'm not concerned about low mileage. I could care less about low mileage. I'll get 110,000 on it. That's not the issue. I just want something that was taken care of and doesn't have a shitload of problems like the one I had. And the more I built that car, the more problems I got. It just became a headache, and why I said before, if I built another one for what I would do with it, I would just make it a much less complicated build, less problems, and just enjoy the car instead of always having it at the shop and upgrading parts or fixing crap that broke because it was just a lot of power. So as far as getting one, if I come across something with that criteria of color that I really like, and it's within the price range that's acceptable for me, that I'm okay spending to get one, it's a possibility. This isn't like a precursor video where there's secretly a Terminator sitting out in my garage. The Bronco's there, and that's it. There's nothing else in the garage. And I haven't talked to anyone about buying one. It's just the thought's still there in my head, and it can happen, but I'm just saying don't be shocked if it doesn't, happen on this channel again. It may be another car down the road. I may not get anything, I don't know. It's such a big part of who I am, having, a car to have, something to enjoy and have fun with. It's really hard to let that go, but I knew that because of burning through 3 cars in less than a year, I just really needed a break. And I gave up on the Fox body like around August. So August, September, October, November, December. It's been a good number of months where I haven't even considered anything. But going forward, that could change. But at this point, I just, it's kind of where I'm at right now. So that kind of gets everyone up to date on what's happened. I know not a real eventful video. I didn't mean to be that way at all. But, I was going to record this in the Bronco while I'm driving somewhere, but couldn't even find my suction cup mount to put the camera on. So just decided to do this in my living room. I may have left that on the Fox body when it sold. I thought I cleaned everything out, but it's a possibility. I can't even find that suction cup mount now, so I don't know what I did with it. But, that's kind of where it stands now. There may be a lot of random stuff on this channel just to kind of just still do uploads on stuff. It may be gaming stuff, could be gun stuff, somewhat automotive related stuff. I have that big trip in February, like I mentioned. It's really, really awesome place I'm going to, so I can't wait to do the video on that and show everyone that, whole experience. That's going to be a really good video. So that will be happening, later on in February after I get back. So I'm, gone for almost 2 weeks. So if you're still here and still subbed, I really appreciate it. If you stay subbed even without, a definite car on the channel, I appreciate that too. As far as a future, I'll look for another Cobra, another Terminator. It's, like I said, it's a possibility. Those of you that want to hang around, maybe worth it in the end, if I get another one. I'm just saying, don't 100% expect it. I still need time to really consider stuff and, let things work their way out of my head, so I can figure out, what I really want to do. But that's where I'm at right now. That's, how things stand. I just wanted to update everyone on it. So, if you've hung around this long or still on the channel, let me know in the comments and, what's been going on with you, because it's been a long time since I've done a video, but I'll be back soon. It won't be as long since the last upload that I did, but it may not be until that trip in February, just to keep everyone up to date. But thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time.